Hello friends, my name is Deanna Steelman and I'm here creating this new channel, Athena's Pallas, and I had inspiration for the name Athena's Pallas, and it's a play on words with Pallas Athena, the asteroid and the goddess of ancient Greece mythology. So originally, Athena was born springing forth from the head of Zeus. He had been warned by his father, Uranus, that he would be harmed or overthrown by his children. So he ate his children when they were born, and he consumed his wife, Metis, while she was pregnant with Athena, and ensued with a big headache that he couldn't get rid of. And one of his doctors took an axe or started banging on his head, and Athena sprang forth from his head, fully clothed in armor, and she was one of his favorite children. And Zeus had help from Neptune to raise her, and Neptune was very fond of her, as well as his daughter Pallas. And Pallas and Athena often sparred and practiced battle together and had wonderful training sessions together. And one day they were putting on an exhibition, or they were participating in a sporting thing at an arena, and Athena and her were sparring, and Pallas got distracted, and Athena accidentally stabbed her, and it killed her. And this was very upsetting to Pallas or to Athena, and so she took on her name, in honor of her friend, and began to be known as Athena, Pallas Athena, from that time onwards. So that was very wonderful honoring of her friend, and it showed how she wanted to keep her in her consciousness and keep her alive as part of her own energy. So I like that story about Pallas Athena. And Pallas is, the origins, as I said, were Greek mythology, but Pallas Athena's archetype is associated with wisdom, courage, just warfare, strategy, and skill. And Pallas has these abilities to see patterns and to recognize patterns and to help them, to have those patterns help her strategize on her journey and figure out how to help others on theirs. So Pallas Athena, where she lands in your chart, will be an area where you can strategize and have a higher vision about the things that you are doing in that house or that sign. And Pallas is strongly independent, and Pallas Athena, she has this ability to accept the responsibility for her actions and to really think through how she's going to respond to a situation. She can be warlike if she needs to be, but she can also be very diplomatic, and she can really help to work out issues and do conflict resolution with others and come to a diplomatic understanding between parties that can be fair. And when she does go into battle, she tries to go into battle in a fair and balanced way. She also has been cited in several mythologies, including the Trojan War, including working with Hercules, Perseus. She's the one that had the idea for the shield for Perseus to be able to look at Medusa through the reflection of the shield. And eventually he was able to cut off the head of Medusa and take that to free one of the maidens that was being held captive on the rock, and the Kraken was going to come and eat her. And Perseus came and held up the Medusa head, and the Kraken turns to stone, and he was able to save Andromeda. So, you know, there's a lot of different mythologies about her and how she helped different heroes have a different vision of things. So in the case of Perseus, it was the vision of the Medusa head in the shield. So I'm wearing gold today because I wanted to honor her, because she's often pictured in gold. And I will put on the thumbnail one of my favorite photographs of a sculpture that was done of Pallas Athena. And you'll see in that it shows like a golden thing that's wrapped around her upper body, and that's the skin of one of her enemies. It's called the Arches, and often you see her holding an owl, and that's representative of the wisdom keeping aspects of her. Now, of course, all archetypes have a negative expression. So, you know, one of the things that can be a negative expression of Pallas Athena is she can be self-righteous. She can also self-sabotage what it is she's trying to create when she's expressing negatively. So it's basically that negative expression is an imbalance between the feminine and masculine. So a big part of her energy is to balance that, that feminine and masculine energies within. So, you know, the passive and the aggressive, and not go too far towards the aggressive, which would be her tendency. So there's interesting correlations between Pallas Athena and astrology, which I found fascinating when I looked into it. And astrologers use pattern recognition a lot to understand the way that the planets are aligned in a chart, either an event chart or birth chart, and the aspects that they make, and any kind of overall chart pattern that you can see just by looking at it. So often Pallas Athena is really strong in a chart of an astrologer. So for me, it's conjunct my sun. So not surprising, I went into astrology and in my later years, and other astrologers like Charles Carter, Reinhold Eberton, Alan Leo, Liz Green, Linda Goodman, Rick Levine, Jeff Joyer, Ivy Goldstein Jacobson, Donna Cunningham, and many others, I'm sure. Also generals have been strong in their Pallas Athena. General Patton, also Joan of Arc had a strong Pallas Athena. So Pallas Athena is often associated with just causes and fighting to win something or revolts. Aquarian energy is usually pretty strong, but any air sign is basically where she's strengthened the most. So that would be Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius. So the Pallas Athena, to me, is one of my favorite goddesses, and I feel blessed to have her energy so prominent in my chart, and so I wanted to honor her here by using that little play of words, Athena's Pallas. So thank you for listening to my little video on Pallas Athena, and I look forward to hearing back from you. Please leave your comment, your likes, and subscribe if you like what you're hearing. I'm going to be posting many videos and moving forward into these new cycles that are starting in March of 2023. So thank you. Mwah.